Hi everyone, welcome to another card making video. Today I'm making a card that is focused very much on die cutting. I've been making cards lately with lots of stamping and colouring, so I thought I would change things up a bit and do lots of die cutting. So I'm using a number 8 from a Kaisercraft number die set and lots of scraps of brightly coloured cardstock to cut lots of little number 8s. This is my background panel. It's just black cardstock, and I'm creating a grid. This was a fairly painstaking process, I'm not going to lie. It took a long time, but the end result was well worth it. So I'm using washi tape just to adhere my little die in place while I run it through my die cutting machine. And all of those coloured number 8s will sit in those holes made in that panel, so they're going to sit flush with the background. So you've got to be sure to keep all the little inside pieces of your number 8s. So if you're trying this technique, just set those aside somewhere safe. So I've got some very faintly drawn lines on that panel, and I'm using my ruler just to make sure everything's lined up, and just running it through my Cuttlebug. Popping out the pieces was a little bit painful, but I got great clean cuts with the Kaisercraft dies. Just a sip of coffee there. You need coffee when you're doing something like this. So the next thing to do is adhere that panel that I've die cut onto a solid black piece, and the reason for this is I'm going to die cut a word out of this panel once it's completed. I could have just adhered that black cut piece onto my white card base, but then I wouldn't be able to die cut that extra word. So just making sure that's all stuck down good and proper. I used a combination of tape runner and also a liquid adhesive, and I'm using my little zig pen there to now start putting my coloured pieces in the holes in that top layer of black cardstock. So I'm using a pick-me-up tool. A quick stick is the same thing. Just to pick up my little tiny pieces, and I kept getting my pick-me-up tool and my zig glue pen mixed up because they're both blue. But the tool is very handy for picking up those little pieces and slotting them into their spots, and you also get a little tool in the end of the pick-me-up tool that you can use to maneuver those little pieces, and you'll see me do that shortly, just there. So just making sure everything's pushed in properly, and it wasn't. So just adding a little bit more liquid glue for my little black pieces. Now these number 8s, the two inside pieces are different sizes, so I had to make sure I had the right little black piece in the right hole. So getting through it here, I'm just putting them down in rainbow order. This is going to be for a little boy for his 8th birthday. My son Oliver is 8, so lots of his friends are turning 8, and it's always good to have a nice bright fun card on hand. But this one's going out to a special friend. All up, I think this card took a couple of hours to make. I know I watched the season return of The Walking Dead while I did this, plus an episode of The Block, triple threat. So yeah, a couple of hours all up. So there's the finished panel, and you can see all those number 8s are sitting flush with the black cardstock. I love that effect. Now I don't know what happened to the video camera, but I used a My Favourite Things word die to cut the word happy out of that panel, and you can see just the die cut piece off to the side there. And I've also laid it up on about 5 extra die cuts, all cut from white. It's a bit thicker than chipboard thickness, and I just wanted that word to sit up from the card, but I didn't want to sit it up on foam tape, so I'm just slotting that back in there. I wished I had a bigger word so it would go across more width of the card. It looks a bit small there. So now I'm just putting the inside pieces back in. So you've got to be careful that you keep all those pieces, and a couple of the pieces have some of the coloured 8s on them, so I've got to make sure I put them in the right hole. So that's all stuck down now. Now just using this Mama Elephant alphabet stamp set to create that sentiment. I used the same colours of ink that matched my cardstock that I used. I stamped the outline in Memento Tuxedo Black and then the insides with the coloured inks. So there's the whole card assembled. And then I wanted just to make that word happy stand out a bit more, so I used my Wink of Stella glitter marker there. And in a moment you'll see a photo from the side where you can see that beautiful shimmer that the Wink of Stella puts down. Thanks for watching.